Take out a sheet of paper and divide it into two columns. On one side, please write the word and part of speech. On the other side, please write the definition and any helpful examples. Please pause the video any time if you feel that I am going too fast. The first word is oral. Oral is an adjective describing that which is of or relates to the ear. Oral can also refer to the sense of hearing. For instance, the building does contain a quiet room for people seeking relief from the overload of oral stimulus just outside. Another word to describe senses is tactile. Tactile is an adjective that describes that which relates to the sense of touch. For instance, the thick brush strokes give the painting a tactile quality. Reaffirming. Reaffirming is a verb describing the action of restating or reasserting something that is true. For instance, these events more and more are being seen as instances to reaffirm and reestablish family ties. Recounting. Recounting is a verb describing the action of relating something in detail, or recounting can refer to narrating something. For instance, as a great storyteller, he is able to remember small details and would recount stories from a lost age in which he grew up. Precipitate. Precipitate is a verb referring to the action to cause something to happen quickly or to cause something to happen suddenly. For instance, her death precipitated a family crisis, caused it to happen quickly. Inter. Inter is a prefix that's used at the beginning of a word to denote some sense of between or among. For instance, the idea of good higher education is that students learn through structured interpersonal exchange and interaction. Provocative. Provocative is an adjective describing that which tends or serves to incite, stimulate, irritate, or even vex. Something that provokes some sort of emotion. For instance, she could not wait to get home and start reading the thoughtful and provocative book she just borrowed from a friend. Cohesive. Cohesive is an adjective which describes the state of being closely united in thought or action. For instance, their tribe is a small but cohesive group. Repugnant. Repugnant is also an adjective describing that which causes distaste or aversion. For example, an absolutely repugnant smell was coming from the kitchen and making me feel ill. Simultaneously. Simultaneously is an adverb describing that which is existing or is occurring at the same time as something else. For example, the island seems marked in some unusual way, simultaneously favored and cursed. Arroyo. An arroyo is a noun referring to a water-carved gully or some type of channel that once had a river running through it. For instance, my afternoon trek up the arroyo was a calming and peaceful escape from the busy city. Console. Console is a verb referring to the action of alleviating the grief, the sense of loss, or the trouble of someone else. For instance, the military officer who must console the bereaved at a soldier's funeral has a difficult job.
Ravenous. Ravenous is an adjective describing someone or something that is very eager or greedy for food, or satisfaction, or just simply gratification. For example, we were ravenous after our canoe paddling, and the chili bubbling over the campfire smelled heavenly. Intangible. Intangible is an adjective describing that which is unable to be touched or grasped physically. Intangible is also used to refer to that which has no physical presence. For example, leadership is an intangible asset to any company. And finally, treacherous. Treacherous is an adjective describing that which is very dangerous and very difficult to deal with. For instance, the snow made their hike all the more treacherous.